more offensive touchdowns than incomplete passes over the last 6 games. Jared Goff going at an 82.8% clip, the best ever over a 6-pack of games.
The Detroit Lions have been on an offensive tear. Sometimes Dan Campbell does things that just seem so stupid, but then they work out. He is redefining how to dominate in the NFL, and the Lions are showing us how they have so many ways to win games. The win over the Packers was not the normal formula, but they got the job done, and I will go in depth and talk all about it, as well as the recent breaking news of Za'darius Smith being traded from the Cleveland Browns and how he can help cover for the injury of Aidan Hutchinson. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, and it really helps push this video out to other people. We are on the road to 40,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe we can get there super fast. So the Detroit Lions are making it really easy to get excited about this team. People doubted them and their ability to rebound after how last season ended in the NFC Championship, but the Lions are proving they're not just here to play, they're here to win it all. And the way they're tearing through defenses is making it look more and more possible each week. And their latest win over the Packers was a big reminder that this isn't the same old Lions. It wasn't even their usual formula, but they found a way to get it done, and today, I'm breaking it all down. So let's start out with what went right against the Packers, and there was a lot to love, and a lot that can be fixed on film as well. The Lions came out with a game plan that screamed, "We're not here to mess around." They didn't just rack up points instantly though. Instead, they were methodically grinding down Green Bay's defense, setting up big plays and wearing them out over time. Goff was sharp, spreading the ball around and making sure everyone got involved. But a huge part of the Lions' success has been their run game, which was of course powered by Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. They have been the definition of a 1-2 punch. Gibbs of course brings in that explosive speed and agility that can turn any carry into a big play. He's a nightmare for defenders, and he's honestly just scratching the surface of what he can do. As for Montgomery, he's the muscle that breaks through tackles and grinds out those extra yards. The balance between Gibbs' speed and Montgomery's strength is giving Detroit one of the most well-rounded rushing attacks in the league. And against the Packers, the two of them kept pounding the ball, moving the chains, and kept that clock running, which really helped them grind out the W. It's no surprise that they're helping open up the playbook for Goff and the passing game. Defenses don't know if they're going to get hit with speed, power, or a surprise play action pass. And speaking more on Goff, he's really been locked in since week 1, calm, composed, and making smart decisions. It's clear the Lions won that trade. He has been exactly what this team needs, and he's proving it week after week. The chemistry he's building with the squad is next level. His leadership and poise are big reasons why this offense is clicking, and with the way he's been delivering, this team is a real threat in the NFC. One crazy stat is that the Lions have thrown more touchdowns with 26 over the last 6 games than incompletions with 24. That is actually unheard of. I don't think I've seen anything like that. But let's take a moment to recognize the man behind the madness, Dan Cambell. Campbell's impact on this team is simply impossible to ignore. He's got them playing with this grit and fire that you don't see every day. He's brought in a culture that's all about resilience, discipline, and having each other's backs. And you can see it in how they play. This isn't just a team with a game plan, it's a team with an attitude. They're not afraid to take risks, they play aggressive, and they're clearly all bought into what Campbell is selling. He's not only transforming this roster into contenders, but also reshaping the identity of the Detroit Lions as a whole. What's really impressive to me is his approach to in-game adjustments. Against the Packers, his game management really was spot on, and I gotta give him credit where it's due because I know sometimes I do hate on him and how he tries to overthink and does a little bit too much sometimes, but he was really good in this game. He kept the defense guessing and the offense running smoothly, and defensively, his influence shows. He's instilled a level of toughness and adaptability that lets them hang in there against even the toughest offenses. It's clear this team isn't just about talent. It's about heart, grit, and a winning mindset that Campbell has drilled into them. If they make yet another deep playoff run, you can bet that his impact will be one of the biggest reasons why. And I think he learned from overmanaging last year in that NFC Championship game. That was bad. Again, I'll admit it. I think everyone knows it, but he's moved on. He's adjusted, and I think he's got everything down now. But obviously still, he's going to be super aggressive. That's just who he is as a coach. And speaking more of the defense, they've been bringing serious heat on the D-line. Statistically, they have been struggling a bit, but against the Packers, the pass rush was relentless, making it tough for Jordan Love to find any rhythm. And it's not just about getting sacks, because this season, they've also been solid at stopping the run, which is going to be critical as they push towards the playoffs. The Lions held Green Bay to minimal yardage on the ground, which is no easy feat against a team with a deep backfield like they do. even in their post-Aaron Jones days. I don't understand why I've heard people saying that the Lions defense has struggled this year. And yes, I actually have heard people say that. They literally are ranked as the 3rd best in the league, and that's without Aidan Hutchinson the last few weeks. Kirby Joseph is tied with Xavier McKinney for the most interceptions in the league with 6, and then Brian Branch is right behind, tied for 3rd with 4. They become the first pair of teammates to each have 4 interceptions through 8 weeks since Richard Sherman and Earl Thomas did it for the Seahawks in 2013. I fully expect this Lions pass rush to bring the heat on Sunday night against the Texans team, whose offensive line has really struggled to block, and this will be Zadarius Smith's first game on his new team. I think he's going to be energized, and even though sometimes it takes players a few weeks to adjust to a new team, I think he's just going to join right along the wave, and my prediction is that he will have a sack. Literally one night he went to bed 2-7 and then woke up the next morning and was 7-1. Quite the improvement, I've got to say. And again, Detroit had one of the better run defenses in the NFL before the injuries, and now the Lions are tied for the 4th worst yards per carry allowed with 4.8. And the only reason for this bad defense narrative is injuries. The run defense has taken a step back with those personnel losses, and then obviously the pass rush has suffered the most, but they got Zadarius Smith. In the past 3 weeks, the Lions have rotated multiple players in at the defensive end spot and signed players off practice squads, but they have yet to work. Detroit should have some players returning from injuries this week that can help beef up the defensive line and give them more players just to take the load off some of the main guys. Defensive end Josh Pascal has missed the past 2 weeks with a non-cancerous mass that was on his shoulder that needed to be removed, and he expects to be back this week. And another player trending towards returning is defensive tackle Mekhi Wingo, who missed last week with an ankle injury, as he was a full participant in practice on Wednesday and Thursday. Defensive tackle Broderick Martin is still on the IR, but his return clock started last week and was a full participant in practice, and I think he is a week or so away from playing, but it is possible Detroit activates him this week. Outside of that, offensively, I think Detroit is going to come to play. This will probably be a high-scoring game. I expect a big game from Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I also think Gibbs is going to continue to be explosive in the backfield. But we all know how talented CJ Stroud and that Texans offense is. They're getting Nico Collins back finally after missing the past 4 or 5 weeks. I think that is going to be a big gain for them, and he's going to give the Detroit defense fits. So they're just going to need to do their best to contain that offense, and they're going to have to put up around 40 points if they want a shot at winning this game. But I think they're going to do that, and my prediction is a 40-34 Detroit win. Here's what some of the guys had to say in their recent interviews.
Yeah, we really have. We've done it all year, and this was another example of it. I think in those elements, your offense is going to be a little bit different, a little bit limited in some of the down-the-field stuff, and we knew that coming in, and I thought we handled it great. You know, having no turnovers again is pretty remarkable in that weather, and we've been doing it all year and got to keep doing it.
Yeah, it's been a good week. We got one more day here, full speed to prepare for this opponent, but it's been good. Guys are locked in.
That's really all I got for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, because your support truly does mean the world. And also, let me know what you would like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.